Saturday by 2 p.m.
Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive. Oh yeah, Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive.
Two amazing books from Dr. Helen Jafo are available for purchase. Joyfully Together and You Too Can Become a Success. Get them on our website at www.mamahelen.com.ng or on Amazon, or you can place a simple call to +234 815 343 1944. Don't miss the opportunity. Get them today.
Join Mama Helen Orisha Jafo and Mama Helen and You this Saturday by 2 p.m.
Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive. Oh yeah, Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive.
And now, your host, Mama Helen Orisha Jafo.
Well. This is welcoming you to Mama Helen and You all the way from the United Kingdom this morning, or this afternoon, as it were. I am extremely excited. I hope you are as well. Sorry that we weren't able to eat it at exactly 2 p.m. However, this is an exciting moment for me because I know that it's going to be awesome. So now, what do you need to do? You need to press the share button, people, because it's really going to be mind-blowing today. It's really going to be awesome. It's really going to be powerful. So this is the time for you to press your share button. Just click on it. Get everyone in, because today's topic is incredible. In fact, it is epic. It's incredible. Okay, it's all about side chicks or not. What situation is what dying for? What situation is what dying for? Whenever when the thought of side chicks come to mind, I'm sure it brings a lot of shivering to every woman out there, married or not, because no one wants to share, who they have as their partner. Finding out that you are not your lovers only does not only hurt, it can be very traumatic, powerfully painful, and it can also be damaging as well. So one or both partners have a major negative impact on the relationship. It can affect everyone. It is one of the most painful experience one can go through in a relationship or marriage, usually associated with the loss of a source of love, happiness, stability in life as well. When this happens, people, it's natural to feel a sense of betrayal, rejection, anger, hurt, devastation, and deserved to grieve as well. Okay? In some cases, it's made even be harder to come to terms with the news of your spouse or your boyfriend cheating on you. The question is it worth dying for? And that is what Mama Helen and you is all about today. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be mind-blowing. Like I earlier said, you don't want to miss it because it promises to be wow. Enough of death already. I am tired of hearing that a woman had just committed suicide just because she feels betrayed by her spouse, or a girlfriend jumping into the lagoon because the man says he's no longer interested. Enough of that already. We're going to be looking at what needs to be done, what you need to do as a lady, as a woman, when you suddenly find yourself in that kind of position or situation. So it's going to be awesome. You don't want to miss it. It is so Mama Helen and you, all the way from the United Kingdom today. Back in a moment. Don't go away. Don't touch it down. God bless you.
Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive. Oh yeah, Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive. Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive. Oh yeah, Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive.
Now, welcome back, people. This is still Mama Helen and you, all the way from the United Kingdom today. I am excited because, oh my God, it's going to be wow. It's already, I can literally feel the impact of what is going to take place today on Mama Helen and you. It's really going to be wow. Like Helen said, it is all discussing, okay, side chicks or not. What situation is worth dying for? It's a big question, right? There. Most times, cheating has been an issue that people really cry about. Okay, people cry because their husbands are cheating on them. People cry because there are mistresses all over the place. You have a side chick who is posing to be even the wife of the house. A lot of things do happen. Nevertheless, the question most women find themselves asking is either rhetorically in the darkness and in the silence of the emptiness, just crying and wailing. When is it going to get better? Where am I in this situation? What future rather do I have before me? But I know that by the time we get into today's topic, we will be able to get into some of the things that will definitely bring changes. Okay, changes, and I mean changes at the end of the day. It can only get better, but we also need to hear in order to know what to do, just in case if you have found it this. And even if you are not, who knows? No one knows tomorrow, okay? That is why you also need to be part of this. So, on Mama Helen and you, all the way from the United Kingdom today, I have two wonderful guests with me that will be bearing their hearts, concerning the topic of today. The number one is Mr. David Wilson. Mr. David Wilson is an educationist, and I know that definitely, because he's also like you and I. He will be able to provide solution at the end of the day. And then, of course, we also have a lady in the house as well, and her name is Miss Ejirogene Eduhoro. Mrs. Ejirogene Eduhoro. She's a multimedia journalist. Okay, all of them, one way or the other, will be able to add value to today's topic. I am excited. Are you excited? Because I am. I am. Enough of this. Enough of this. So, Mr. David, are you there? Mr. David, are you
Yes,
there?
I
You
am. Good
came up.
afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. It's such a pleasure having you on you
It's a
today.
pleasure too. How are you
Amen.
today? I'm very well.
I am Mel, Miss. Um, Sorry, forgive me. Sometimes I'm Ejiro Gene, right? What about you?
Yes,
How you doing?
I'm fine,
How are
Human.
you doing?
It's nice to be on your show
Oh,
today.
oh, thank you for taking out time to be here as well. We are excited to have you on our show today as well, to the glory of God. Now, let us start with the man. I want us to be able to start with the man this afternoon. Why do some men cheat on their wives? Or perhaps maybe we need to define the word side cheat. Because somebody out there might side tell us what. Mr. David.
For a man to cheat. I mean, any reason is actually good enough, for a man to cheat. You hear, my wife is not as beautiful as she used to look for, or my wife is my wife's tummy is now big. My wife is not as sexy as before. Other men are doing it. You have a lot of things actually, that runs in the mind of a man when it comes to cheating. You understand? One of the things you need to understand that it all starts with the mind, and that the mind actually opens you to three windows. Like I used to say, the mind actually opens you to three windows. It opens you to the window of imagination, the window of contemplation, and the window of memory. So sometimes a man just begins to imagine. You see, like we used to know that the eyes is like the weak point for a man. When a man sees a woman, something begins to run in his mind. So when that actually enters the mind, so one thing that the mind begins to do is that it captures it as memory, captures it as imagination, and begins to think of many things, and begins to feel like, okay, this woman is looking better than my own wife. I can actually, and she's, a lot of things actually happens in the mind of a man that makes the man to cheat. Some are genuine reasons, and some are not genuine reasons. And when I say genuine reasons, I've had some men actually have spoken to me like, okay, my wife actually gave birth, and for 2 months, she's not ready. She's not really ready to actually give. So I just think I can't stay any longer. I just have to do something. Just do something. You hear a lot of things. So there are a lot of reasons. You understand? And it depends on the
Yeah.
person. It depends on the person's mind, person's thinking, person's
That's not
imagination,
the
person's perception.
It's all in the realm of the mind. That's what you're trying to say. It's beautiful. I love
Yeah, it's
that.
about the
Let
mind.
okay, beautiful. Now I want Mrs. Uh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not always very good with names sometimes. So sometimes it can be a little bit. But I need you to just jump in there, okay? All right. Tega, right? Ogene Tega. Yes, that's the word.
Ejiro,
Yes.
Ejiro
And if
Gene.
Ejiro Gene, oh, thank you. So thank you. Ejiro Gene. Now, let me ask you this. What is the definition for the word side chick? Bearing in mind some of the things that you just mentioned, okay, a while ago. What is the definition of the word side chick?
Okay, so when we hear people use the word side chick, we know they're talking about that lady that is not legally married to the man, who meets his sexual needs outside, who he's comfortable with apart from the wife, somebody else that he talks to, sexual desires with outside, and she's his comfort zone. She's comfort zone. Let us tell ourselves the truth. When the house is hot with the wife, and he feels the house is no more comfortable, and is looking for where to run to. Many of them now build this new nest where they put this other person that they feel is giving them peace, who won't give them the troubles they feel in the house, which they get in the house, who won't give them multiple of demands that they get in the house. So that's what's when there's a side chick, that's the picture that is being painted.
So now let me ask you another question. Is it possible for everything to be okay and yet the man out of habit, just like what we heard from Mr. David a while ago, that sometimes because they see others doing it and they just feel, well, why not?
Yeah, it's possible for everything to be okay in the house and a man will still go outside, because they have the school of thought that says that men are polygamists. Some of them, they want to defend, they have their defense for it. Funny, they will tell you Solomon in the Bible was like that, they will tell you King David was like that, and they will call names on and on and on, telling you it did not start in our generation, it started years ago. Even when there's no trouble in the house, they just feel and then some of them say variety is the spice of life, and so they want to have another woman outside, somebody else to go to, despite the peace, despite the fact that it could be the woman even fending for the house, taking care of the full bills in the house. The man will still go out because it's in that nature. He's not renewed, he doesn't have it. And I also call it lack of self control. If you have self control,
Mm.
you should be able to tell yourself, I don't want to go outside. No matter what the situation is, I can deal with it inside the house and then still have that peace in the house. Then you can have your wife be your own side chick until they decide, until they realize that that can happen. They will always have that one that is outside that is the side chick.
That is preferred. Okay, all right, because of time. Mr. David, is it possible to love your spouse and still cheat on her?
Well, that is actually debatable.
Oh
But
my God.
the fact remains the fact that you can't actually love your spouse and want to hurt your spouse. And then for me, or for many people, love means trust. Love means respect. So if you cheat on your wife, you don't respect your wife. If you cheat your wife, it means you can't be trusted. So it's kind of debatable, because you see some men with cheat, they have side chick, like Tega was saying. Some men, we have side chicks, and then you see that they still love their wives. You understand? They still want their wives. So it's like they just want extra meal sometimes. Like she said, I'm actually very I like the fact that she said naturally a man is polygamist. A man wants to have variety. A man wants to actually have a feel of a goosey soup, or want to have a feel of vegetable, wants to have a feel of different kind of, so you can love your wife, quote and unquote, and still cheat sometimes. For some men, they want their wives, but they still cheat because they just want something extra. Why? But for me, generally, I think you can't love somebody and you want to hurt the person. You can't love somebody and want to disrespect the person. So that's my own take on that.
Hmm. This is really powerful. Now let me ask you this, Miss. Ejiro, Miss Ejiro, let me put this question across because I know it goes. I've seen some women wondering. I've done everything I could, and yet is never satisfied. Why is it? Even though a woman might put in her very best in building a solid home, wanting a husband happy, wanting the children, everyone happy, would even sometimes slave herself in order to make sure that the home front is good and the man looks good as well. Yet, the man still goes about, outside of, outside of being, using the word that Mr. David used, every man out there might be one a polygamist. What would you have to say concerning that? Why the word why? Because we just heard from him. I mean, if you love her, you won't cheat on her.
Yeah. So I feel okay. First, let me point out something. An experience I once had. It was like I discovered that my husband was having a chat with somebody once, and I was wondering. I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" Because if it comes to the other room, we are. So what is going on? So I realized that on his job, he had a target to meet. He had, without the target, if you don't meet it, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of the boss has a way of always coming for him. So he needed to find a way to break even, to meet up his targets without having that monthly report of you're not serious and all of that. So one of those, in the process of the whole chat, which was already going wrong, I had to go to meet a counselor who now finally spoke to us. And my husband opened up and said he needs to meet his target. That was his own intention. He didn't have any other intention to do anything with this lady. His intention was to try and meet the target, which they had to now make it known to him that it was wrong. Even if you have an office target, that doesn't make it right. So it took another education to correct all of that. But for some men,
Okay.
no matter what, I think some women in the house too, it doesn't make it right that the man goes out. But I tell ladies, I say you become the wife. Once they are married, you put the ring there, you become a wife. What happened to the lover side of you? You were once a girlfriend. What happened to that? You throw everything out of the window. You are in the house like just the wife and almost like a mother in the house. If you're not with your dirty gown, you are tying a wrapper. You've forgotten what you were doing to get his attention. You have married him does not mean you've gotten him. You need to remain hot in the house. You need to remain hot in the
Being
house.
hot.
In the other room, even in the other room, if he has a side chick, what is she doing for him differently? She's probably riding. She's not just doing the missionary with him. So we women need to learn how to spice it up in the other room. It's not just the missionary position. He doesn't just want to see you that he has relieved himself. Sometimes for some of them, it's the groaning sounds they want to hear. Some of them, it's the fact that you're giving different things on that bed, not just be there, receive, stand up, and then you say you are done. Then no communication between couples. Husband is looking for who to talk with. He's looking for who he can communicate with. So many of them go outside until we get ourselves. Yes, we're saying that sometimes they hurt us, they get us angry, but we need to get a grip of ourselves and know that if we are also under pressure, they are also under pressure. So we need to work this thing out to make sure that he can come back in. Then we communicate
So
with
it takes.
them. Some
So
ladies,
it's two. It takes two. If I could borrow
yes,
what you are push up, the woman needs to make herself, desirable, and then of course the man also needs, to be loyal. All right, now, Mr. David, let me ask you this question: the side effects of having a relationship like this going on in a home? What are the things?
Well, it's you. If you look at it very well, it has a lot of side effects. On the man, you become you. It's like you enter into a new character. You begin to hide things. You begin to, dodge to to do things. Your expenses actually increase because you need to spend on the side chick. So your expenses actually reduces, your attention for your wife family actually reduces. You then get yourself into some things that you don't even bargain for, because people only see the fun side of sex. They don't see that sex is also very powerful. It's something that engages the soul of people. And by that, somebody said this, I picked it a long time ago. Somebody said this,
Yes.
that whenever you have sex with somebody, now this is what happens, because it's a mixture of your soul and the person's soul. And then the person took it further and said that if this is the lady and then this is the man, and they come together this way. Now, if this lady has slept with three men before sleeping with this man, the man also engages into the soul of those men that that lady has slept with. And therefore, the lady, if the man has slept with 15 people, 15 girls, or 15 ladies, or 15 side chicks, or 15 babes, whatsoever the nomenclature is, she actually engages her soul, with those other 15 people, you know and this for me, when I had, personally as a man, when I heard of this thing, I was like, do I want to put myself in all of this? Do I want to, and sometimes you don't even understand who you are engaging with, because many of these side chicks, they will do a lot of things that normally you won't be able to do as a woman. They will do a lot of things because, number one, they are getting money for it. Number two, they want you to keep coming because they are making the money. I don't know. I saw something on TikTok very recently, and then those two girls, they held like a statue of the man, like a wooden statue, and they said, Emeka, 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 love me more than your wife. Emeka, buy me car. Emeka, buy me air. Emeka, you understand? Now you begin to bring, incantations. You begin to bring
That's right.
divinations upon
Some,
yourself
some,
as a man.
some,
You
but
understand?
some things, some will put some things in the man's food, love poison, all sorts of things. Just collaborating
All
together.
sort of things.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
you are opened, you are kind of exposed to a lot of physical and spiritual dangers. I don't want to sound very spiritual, so that we can actually drive this home, because how is it that you can actually see a lady, though you don't even have a background check, you don't know this lady, but because of the fact that you are
Exactly.
moved by the fact that the lady has the features, she has the breast, you understand, the breast is round, she has the curves, the backside looks very heavy, and that's what those things, one of the things that actually move us, you understand. And the next thing, your mind just engages, like, how is that place going to feel like? I just let me just have a feel, not knowing that there is no matter how small, how medium, or how large it looks, when you get in there, it's the same feeling. It's the same feeling. You understand? But you open yourself up to other things, other attack, other, when a girl, actually, you are rolling with a lady that is a liar, because you are connecting with the person's soul. Even if you don't lie before, you begin to see that you just begin to tell lies. You just begin to do things that you don't do normally before. It's that's
You
something that
lose your
people don't see about
value.
sex.
That's right. I was
Yeah,
saying
so
that you lose
so
value.
yeah, yes, you lose your value. You engage. That's why sex is very powerful. For me, if you ask me, do I do side chick? You understand? And let me put me on all states. You understand? Do I do side chick? There's a thing I learned many years ago also. An elderly man, in trying to teach and train his son, who is about to get married, you understand, on sex, actually said, look, he said, get dig. He told the child to actually dig like four different holes. He said, okay, dig this hole. So the young man actually dig those holes. He said, pour palm oil in the first hole, pour water in the second hole. Then pour petrol in the third hole, and then pour diesel in the last hole. And then the man told the son, he said, carry a rod, a stick, a rod, and dip it in the following, in the four different holes, and tell me the difference. What do you feel differently? So the boy did that. I said, he doesn't like there's nothing like he can't. Where is the father trying to drive at? Like, because he can't, he doesn't feel anything. Like, you know. So the father now said that whenever you get married, the hole that is given to you, stick to that hole. Because if you go for another hole and insert your rod into other holes, it still going to be the same feeling. I heard of that thing as I think I was a teenager, hearing all of these things, and it has helped my mind, you know, and of the fact that at risk, I don't, you know, even when you have, you are loaded, you are padded, your life is going well, you still face struggles, let alone now adding another thing that is going to cost you extra struggle, that can delay you,
Thank
that can change your focus, change your perspective. You understand? You are not
us.
focused, you know, that can reduce the money you are trying to multiply. You understand? So for me, it's a lot of effect on the men, and they need to know this. Thank you.
Yes, it's a lot of effect on the men and also children, especially if I mean if there's marriage here now. Of course, that is another aspect to it because then the children are affected. Everyone, you know, gets to be affected on this issue of side chick. But now let me ask this question from you, Miss Ejiro Genem. Okay, why is it? Because I'm sure you must have heard there was a woman in Lagos married to a big politician. Okay, and this is where this is actually the reason behind today's program. Married to a big politician, and of course, the man was cheating on her. She traveled to the US to have a child. By the time she got back, the driver hypothetically came to pick her up at the airport. Instead of heading to the house with her, took her to another place. In fact, they said it's a B and B, you know, place that she was checked into. And later on, she decided to go to the house. By the time she went to the house, this was after she had tried her husband severally and the man was not picking her calls. So she decided to go over to the house. And by the time she got there, she discovered that all the domestic staff had been changed. So she was told that she wasn't allowed back into her matrimonial home, a home that she has built with her husband, even if it's just 1 year. Just 1 year. So she went back, got her friend to make her a cup of tea, poisoned herself, and now she's dead. We have 6-year-old child and then a 2-year-old baby. Why is it that when there is betrayal, women either run to madness or they kill themselves or they completely become a shadow of themselves? Why?
So that's a very sad story, first of all. I don't see any reason why a woman should lose herself because of a man. That happens when most women are dependent on just that particular man. Most women don't have a plan for themselves. Their whole life is just about the man. They have no plan, nothing to fall back to. And fine, you are married. You are happily married to anybody. Nobody is saying you shouldn't love the man. But while loving the man, learn to also love yourself. If you cherish your life, you cherish yourself, you have love for the children. When the ships are down, you can turn your face totally and say life has ended. The next thing you should actually be seeing is yourself and your children. But she have planned for herself. Unfortunately, she will feel so betrayed because she has put everything about her on one man. and probably has already beat her chest in front of friends saying, my husband can't do this. Who are you
And do
to
this.
vouch for anybody? Who are you to
Listen,
vouch for anybody?
to that realization now in life that even a pope, anyone at all,
Mm.
can do
Ha.
anything. They can. Human people can change and become something else. Or should I say, anyone can put
Overnight.
up an abbey overnight that will shock you, that will make you think, is this true? Am I dreaming? This be happening. But I think what is more with with our girls, the way they respond to betrayal is becoming alarming. We've heard of a situation of a girl jumping inside, a lagoon. I think it must be lagoon in Lagos as well. An incident in Cameroon of a girl also killing herself just because the young man says, I'm no longer interested. I mean, it's so much. We can go on and on and on. Well, in a moment, we will take a break, and when we're back, it will be us really dwelling on this matter. Side chick or not, should anyone, you know, be the reason why you will take your life? Should anything at all even take your life? You will have a moment to call in, and then, of course, we also have some questions emanating from social media. So don't touch your dad. It's only just going to get better. It's getting really hot now because we're getting to the topic of the day. Back in a moment. It is still Mama Helen and you, all the way from the United Kingdom.
Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive. Oh yeah, Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive.
Now, welcome back, viewers. This is still Mama Helen and you, coming to you live from the United Kingdom. And the topic of today is side chicks or not. What is what you killing yourself? In that word, what is what dying for? What is what dying for? And then, of course, we've been with Mrs. Ejiro Gene Eduhoho, and then we've also been with Wilson. Both of them have been incredible. Honestly, we don't have enough time. I can tell that they have a lot to share, but we're actually running against time. Now, I want to go to Mr. David. Mr. David. Isn't it painful to see a young lady, put it this way, she could be your sister. For example, like the one that just recently happened. This lady left behind a 6-year-old and a 2-month-old baby, all because her husband turned our world upside down. What do you have to say concerning that?
A pathetic story, and I actually feel for not just her, I feel for her family, I feel for the children, I feel for her parent if she still has a parent, and I feel many girls. But let's dive into what's really happening. Now, you know that let me break it down in a way that people can understand. One of the things that we have not done to ourselves is that we have not even understood ourselves as people, persons. Now, a man is a spirit, and a man has a soul and lives in a body. Now, if you look at the man's body, you look at the five senses. So the body is divided into five compartments. You have the sense of sight, feeling, smelling, tasting, and hearing. You understand? But that's not my point. My point is, I don't even want to talk about the spirit. Let's look at the soul. The soul actually has four compartments, and a lot of people don't know. about this, and that's why they keep throwing themselves into lagoon, throwing themselves into things, drinking poison and all of these things, because they have not yet
Poison
understood themselves and then developed. What do you say?
because of what? Because of what?
Okay, so I'm going there now. When you look at the soul has four compartments. You have the mind, you have the will, you have the emotion. You understand? I can't remember the last one right now, but I want to dwell on the emotion. So we are emotional beings. For ladies are even much more emotional than men. Men are logical. They reason. So if you see a man who wants to do a thing right now, if a man wants to drink poison, for example, you see the man will first reason. Like, okay, so if I take this poison, how is it going to feel?
Yeah.
It means so I will now die. You understand? That's a man. But a woman actually is emotional in her design. So many times they do a thing before even thinking about it, and that's the issue. So many women are very old. I mean, those ones in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and even above. You see that their emotional age is lower compared to their real age, and that's the issue. If you understand that in this life, just like we're saying that you can't even trust the pope, because the best of man is still a man, and a man is capable of disappointing. The only being that is perfect is God. A man can say, I will see you in the next 1 hour, and the guy may not show up in the next 1 year. That's a man. A man can say, look, with this ring I wed thee. You understand? For richer, for poorer, and all of those things. And by tomorrow, the man is tired. You understand? So we are supposed to be prepared. Let me tell you, we've all had heartbreaks, and the heartbreaks we've had in the different relationships. Sometimes they are love relationship, some of them are business relationship, some of them are even family relationship. The heartbreaks we've had is supposed to be enough training for people to understand that in this life, just don't have unrealistic expectation of people, and then always know that a man is a man, a woman is a woman. They are not God, they are not perfect. So
All
if
right.
I've been disappointed before.
Uh, Mr. David, let me ask you this question. How do you handle betrayal? What's the best way? Let's just go into this because this is very important. My heart, aches when I hear things like, oh, she poisoned herself. Oh, so she's not a ghost of herself. Oh, okay, she's lost her mind. In fact, some people actually expect you to lose your mind because of their wickedness towards you. I mean, life in itself is wonderful. But, why can't you prove them wrong? So, how best can we handle betrayal? Let's go to the
Okay.
the day.
Okay.
Let's go to the woman of the day. Let's start with that first. I think we should start with that, and then we'll go back to you, Mr. David. Okay, Mrs. Ejiro.
Okay, so yes, everybody, one way or the other, has had heartbreak, their heart broken. So for me, I look at it as this: when you were in a relationship, dating, or even at workplaces, at home with your siblings, you have been hurt before. How did you handle it? I try not to make one relationship higher than the other when it comes to emotions. I don't just drop my emotions on the ground for me. So, and I tell a lot of ladies, I say, you love, nobody stops you from loving, but get a hang on yourself. You can't just throw your heart, everything on the floor, and then you expect that the other person is not going to hurt you. These hurts are natural. These hurts are expected to happen every day because the other person is a human being, just as you're a human being. I tell myself sometimes, I say, if I hurt, means my husband hurts.
To interject this. See, all these things actually started from the upbringing. The kind of things they hear from their mom, their dad as well. Okay, and then we're perhaps maybe going to school and all that. All those things do happen. Isn't it important for mothers and even fathers too to begin to train their children on the need for them to have self-worth, on the need for them to expect anything out there. Trust, yes, is earned. Okay, I mean, many of us were very trusting until we we had our fingers burnt. So it does happen,
Yeah.
and all, but this can actually be checked if
Yes.
girls are worked on as they develop. Men, fathers, and they need to come around their daughters and say, validate them. Sweetheart, you're beautiful. You're intelligent. Don't ever let anyone make you think otherwise. So let me tell you this. When I was growing up, my father invested that much into me that it has helped me a great deal. Okay, my father would look at me and said, "Oh, Miss Nigeria, everybody, Miss World, we're calling me my uncles, my aunties, even at a tender age." And of course, I believe that very strongly. Okay, I mean, there are people you even say to them, "Oh, you look good." They say, "Oh no, stop, stop." I mean, that just stop flattering. Can't even
They
take
don't know
a
how to take on.
compliment. Why? Because they are so chattered. They are so chattered. So how do we? I mean, I have just pointed that out to you. How, in what way can our men, can fathers, as a matter of fact, not only mothers alone, because when you're dealing with the issue of girls, it isn't only mothers that they want to hear some things from, because they already feel, well, she's female, like I am, but they also want to hear it from their father, who could be like someone, a husband or a boyfriend out there tomorrow. What do you have to say concerning that? A lot of questions are coming in from
Yeah.
social media, and taking them in a moment. Yes, just go ahead and answer that, please.
Okay, so I can relate to what you just said. Growing up, my father would always tell me, "Do you know you're a very beautiful lady? Don't let anybody make you feel less." I grew up with
Good.
sickle cell, and so you can imagine that in a society where people feel like somebody living with sickle cell is going to die tomorrow, and all of that, my father would tell me, "You're not dying tomorrow. You are living long. Don't let anybody make you feel less of yourself." He will tell you, "You know you can be the first lady of this country." That's how my father always
Exactly.
speak to me. So I used to tell my husband the same thing. I'll say, relate with your daughter, because I don't want my daughter going out to find validation from friends, from men outside. Let it be that she's used to her dad. Growing up, any man comes and says, "You know you're beautiful. I'd like to have you as my girlfriend." I tell you, I'm not interested, because I've already, first of all, had that love from my father. So I don't need an extra from outside. It took me a long while to agree to want to even settle down as a woman, naturally. So I just wanted to be with my dad for a long time. But daddy had to teach me to stand. So I know our parents,
I
fathers
come.
and mothers have a lot to
Yes, Father.
play with their daughters, so that their daughters
Amen.
don't go out looking for validation in school, looking for
It's
validation from the neighbor. That's what leads to, first of all, somebody using them. And then teach the siblings how to speak. I tell my first daughter, "Don't tell your sister what she's doing is rubbish." And then I tell that one, if she tells you if it is rubbish, what you made, is it rubbish? She says no. I say, so don't let her what she tells you hurt you. So it is, you teach them how to know that the world will
and
throw the insults, but don't
good.
fall for it. Stand up
Don't
and tell
internalize.
them this is not
Don't
nonsense.
internalize. That's what you are trying to say. Don't internalize whatever it is that is coming from out there.
That is
That's awesome.
exactly.
Now ask Mr. David this question. We're really completely out of time now. This is coming from Itohan. Itohan says, "Thank you, Mama, for your wonderful counsel. Mama, how do you handle betrayal? You struggle with your husband and you make it together. And suddenly the humble man supposedly changes and becomes a womanizer, forgetting how you all started. I am so heartbroken. What do I do?" Mr. David.
Okay. I quickly want to say something and then I answer that question. The reason I
Okay.
think most ladies are also doing this to themselves is that they watch a lot of movies. They see some of these things from the movies, you understand, and they've forgotten that they are they are scripted. You understand? So you see somebody, the husband betray the person just goes to jump. You understand? You see it in the India movies, you see it in, I don't want to mention, so let's appropriate that you die, you die. You don't. It's not that sometimes they see that they now jump into those lagoons, and then some people will jump after them and then pick them up. All of those things. I think sometimes the mind actually internalizes all of these things, and before you know it, people begin to do what they're not supposed to do. So we need to also watch the mind. Now, for the lady, for Itoa, if you have helped your husband, you understand, to get to this stage, and the man is now showing his real color. Number one, like I said, always be ready for such things. You understand? I don't
Exactly.
pray that my wife should cheat on me, but if my wife cheats on me, my God, it's going to break my heart. But I've come to see that I always have to embrace a new beginning. I always have to, I'm shining my eyes. So I tell myself that, look, because I've been heartbroken, I've had my fair share, and I've seen that there are some pains you are going to have that will take you
Can,
30
can,
years to
can
heal.
we do it?
Sometimes,
Can
if
we
you
be? Can we be? Can we get into bullet points because of time? We're actually out of time.
okay,
Let, let
okay,
it be a
so
bullet.
please heal, heal quickly. If a man, you need to know that, just like the Bible says that he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor. If you are a wife and you are not a knife, you understand, and your husband has actually left the wife to meet knives, don't forget, it's just a matter of time. He will soon come back home. You understand? Just ensure that you are packaging yourself more to be more powerful, so that when it comes,
Exactly.
because listen, a man is blessed because of the woman. A lot of people don't know
Yes.
this. You understand? You are
Yes.
blessed because she's a blessing from the Lord. So when the man now gets the blessing and then he thinks that he needs to go out, you need to don't kill yourself. Just continue with your life. Really, you need to continue. Because of time, I can't expatiate more, but you need to continue with
Now,
your life.
awesome. Now, this is coming from Doris. Doris says, "Mama, please help me. I know my husband's sidekick. Even knows my husband, and my husband even boasts that it is his right to eat variety shamelessly when I complain. Sometimes I feel like killing him. I just want to leave. The pain is too much." Oh my God. Oh my God. Um, can we hear from any of you over on this, please? Can we hear from any of you from this?
Okay.
Can we hear from
It's a very tough one with the fact that she's already heartbroken. So, but she needs to get herself together. It is
it's
painful.
real?
And then another
It
thing
is
I
so
would say, yeah, she needs to, when you get yourself together to be able to heal. If you can't get yourself
real.
together and organize your thoughts, you can't heal. And then if you think you want to be with him, then I would, like people will say, using the condom. You give him a condom, he does not have a feel to your body. And when he wants to insert inside you, he misses it. And then bring your best to the bed. He's going to let him do what you have to do. Don't give him headache. Let him go out and come back. When he comes back, he's seeing you. You're not saying anything. And then probably you can just say you want to speak with him. What do you want? If he's not answering, gather yourself together to like my other speaker said. Get
Focus
together.
on you.
Move on.
Move.
You will
Focus on
heal.
you. Focus on you.
You will
Heal.
heal.
Yes, that's the life. That's the life today. Okay, this is coming from Abigail from Calabar. I've been seeing man for the past 1 year now, and ever since we started dating, he has been promising to leave his steady girlfriend who he had a child with for me. Should I believe him or am I just wasting my time? Oh my God, Mr. David needs to get this question. Mr. David, I've been seeing
And
my man for the past
you
year
you
now.
you are in a long thing. You are sitting on gunpowder. Honestly, I think, when you see a danger sign and in your
He can
mind
do
you are
that.
saying that it's not danger, no, it will change. He won't do that to me. He loves me. If a man is
That is
already doing that before getting married to you, it means
exactly.
he has the capacity, he has the to even do more when you are with him. So please, it's a warning signal, it's a danger sign, and you need not to wave that sign. You need to actually speak to your senses, come back to your senses. Don't allow your emotion to take the place of your brain, and then come back to your senses. That man is not for you. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, now this is Anita from Akure. Have been dating this man for 3 years now. He claimed to love me and I said I'm his serious girlfriend. But right now, it's becoming very tiring because he seems to be very selfish, over jealous, and overprotective of me. I'm 33 years old now. I'm tired of being a side chick. What should I do? Well, this one is tired of being a side chick. Okay, obviously he
When
has
you
other
come,
girlfriends.
yeah, when you come back, you know one thing. Have you ever been in a class and then you don't understand a particular thing, and at some point I say, okay. Now that at that point for everybody, it means you have come to your senses. It means something has clicked. Now that it has clicked that you're a side chick, do you want to be defined as a side chick when other guys or other ladies are getting married to their own husband, having their own children, having their own beautiful family, they're traveling, they're living good lives? So is that what you want to do with your life? So now that you know that it's not best for you to be a side chick, then start a new beginning. Somebody said if you have gone in the wrong direction and you have traveled so far, be realistic to yourself that whenever you discover that you're in the wrong path, turn back and move in the right direction. Now move in the right direction. You are tired, just like the prodigal son got tired one day and said that, look, my father's house there are servants, slaves that are living large. Why should I be here? He came back to his senses and he went back home. So come back home to your senses and do something right.
That's powerful. Now I want to go to the lady in the house. Let's look at this. Are women women's problem? Are women women's problem? Now the reason why I say that is the reason why we have the word side chick is because, okay, a woman, so most times they know that this man is married, and yet they are forcing themselves, they literally throw themselves at some of these men. They do everything possible to have someone else's husband or someone else's girlfriend. I mean, you heard the initial question that the lady asked, asking, okay, how can I get this man to be serious when the man already has a child by another girl and he's telling you he wants to end it to be with you and he's not ending it? Why would you even allow that to happen? Are women the ones encouraging our men to be misbehaving? Please address that question.
Well, I would say to an extent, yes. Because I've spoken to two different ladies in time past, told me, she said, I prefer to date married men because they take care of single girls. Because they already take care of their wives, they know how to invest that same energy on their girlfriends. And since some of these girls don't want to settle down, they just want to milk the man, get what they can get from him, then throw themselves around him. They are fine with it. Another one said, when I get him, I will keep the same way I got him, the same way I will keep him. I know what he likes, I know what he does not like. The first woman also liked this, knew what he liked. So I think many of these girls live in a fool's paradise and think what is obtainable in marriage. Marriage is more than just what happens in a normal relationship when you are dating. And so that's what many of them are living with because they have not yet there. They think, oh, it is just sex, giving food, and be that sweet talking girl. It's more than that. Once a child comes in, a lot of things changes. What they don't realize. So they think it's let's just go there and have fun. It's have fun for them, and they're losing it. They're missing it until they get into their marriage too.
A good thing for you to build joy on at other people's expense, on other
It's
people's
like
pain.
terrible. It's
It
just
shouldn't be.
terrible.
Or
But
it is terrible.
what they think. That's what they think. They think that's what is okay. Many of them don't want to get married. For many of these single girls, they don't want to get married. They're just looking for who is going to pay their
About
bills. So they don't care who they are hurting. They don't care who they are
yes.
hurting. And then the married woman in the house doesn't know that she's coming from a different angle. She doesn't realize that that girl is not looking for a husband. She's not looking for who she's going to be holding, who's paying her bills monthly,
Actually,
and she has a
or
lot
it
more to do
can be
to get herself
you
on.
right. It can be anything to you right now until she gets in. Even those ones who are even willing to marry, because there are some of these wicked women who wouldn't mind to have the wife at home to go. in order for them to come in. You also have that as well. You know, I mean, the lists are endless. We have no time to be able to look at that. Now, the next question for you here. I mean, there are so many questions. They're just coming from everywhere. One says, how can I rebuild trust for my partner? Now, may I please say to our audience, you can actually call in now. The lines are open. Well, it's actually one line. The line is open. You can call in. So the number to call is +234 915 616 6290. +234 915 616 6290. I'm going to repeat it for the last time. +234 915 6166 You can actually call us and then, of course, join in this conversation today. We want to be able to change, this kind of barbaric lifestyle that has taken a lot of beautiful lives. And we also want to say, hey, girl, you know, it's only laziness that will make a woman think that, okay, she needs to date a married man so to have money, okay, to have pleasure. The man is able to take you abroad at the expense of another woman and forgetting that you're a woman and that life is a seed. It's only a matter of time. You will also reap as well. There's this adage from where I come from, and it says the cane that was used in caning, you know, the yale, in other words, the wife, is waiting for the new wife. When the new wife comes, you can have your little honeymoon time, but when the time comes, the man is still going to use the same cane on you as well. So be mindful to do. Be mindful of the kind of seeds you sow, because whatever seed you sow, it's only a matter of time. You will reap. Now, I want us to look at this, Mr. David. Just as we're waiting for those who might want to come in, if you want to come in, if you want to make a contribution, or you have any questions at all, we have guests here, and of course myself as well, that'll be willing to address whatever it is. Okay, so please feel free to do that. Okay, now the question here is, Mr. David, what do we say to these men? The men, I mean, you've seen some men who throw away 30 years of marriage. Go ahead. The call was coming in and then you stop. Go ahead. We've seen, men with 30 years of marriage, and we just walk out of that marriage. We just walk out of that marriage all because the man, there's a call from the UK. Please go ahead. Okay. Go ahead and talk to Rosa. Why you? May we please know where you're calling from and your first name, if at all?
Good afternoon. My name is Petra. I'm calling from the UK.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say that when I was a teenager, my boyfriend, was murdered.
Oh,
and
no.
Because of that hurt, I made a decision that I wasn't going to go out with a single person. I was going to go out with a married man, because then I wouldn't commit. Not necessarily that I wanted money or anything. So for me, that was the reason, and I'm not saying it was right, but at that time, that was my reasoning.
Okay. But what do you think now? Do you think it's the right thing to do? I sympathize.
No,
okay.
Back.
Beautiful.
I would not, I would not have made that decision.
Okay.
I would not have done that at all.
Okay. Well, may I say this to you? It's so sad. I mean, hearing about the demise of your boyfriend that could have pushed you, that pushed you to wanting to date a married man because you didn't want to commit. It's so sad, and I believe, God will work it out for you, so that you'll be able to have the best of man to marry. And this one is not going to die, okay? It's not going to die. However, since you desire to also have yours, and you do not want a situation where someone will be coming from the side to disturb or to...
I am married now, thank you.
Oh, good. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, I think you're bringing another dimension to this. That some people might decide to just go out with a man who is married, not necessarily for money, but because they do not want to commit. Oh, fantastic.
I was reacting from the hurt, and I didn't have anybody to direct me at that time.
At that time. Okay. Well, that's why we have a program like this. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. God bless your heart. Thank you. Okay, bye. All right. Okay, so we've heard the caller. I mean, she actually called from the UK, and the question is, oh dear. She's married now. She once had this experience. Okay, and I think it tallies with what a lady said a while ago, Mrs. Ejiro, what she had earlier on said, that some ladies might just get into such relationships not for any other reason, but because they don't want commitment. So for them, they're just playing. They're players, so to say. Just like you have men players, we also have ladies who are players as well. You know, we just need to be careful. But I always say this, whichever way it is, life is a seed. So I want to go back to, you can still go on calling in. We're all here. We just have 5 more minutes, and then we have to draw the curtain because we actually exceeded our time already. But I just want to give 5 more minutes to this. So, Mr. David, here's a question to you: how do we stop from cheating?
Do we what?
How do we stop our men from cheating?
Oh, fantastic.
What is
I wanted to say a
is a,
thing.
enough? What is enough? Let me phrase the question. What is enough to convince a man that cheating will not only cost you everything, but it could cost you your children, it could cost you your spouse, it could cost you your business, it could cost you everything in life. So why cheat? All in the name of having, whatever fun, a 2 minutes or whatever it is. Because some of these women can be very rarely like watch something. You said you watched something where a young lady was saying to something that let this man only love me, let this man love me more. That was more or less a spell, isn't it? Let him love me more. And I've always noticed. I did my research. Most of these girls, they're not even better than their wives. They are not better than their wives in any way. So some of them actually go the extra mile to keep these men, not because they're good, but because of another power or anything else that they're using. So how do we tell this is enough?
Now, when
Please go.
when they say something is dangerous, and you still think the best thing to do with the thing is to play with it, it's just going to harm you very soon. If a snake poison is dangerous, and you know this is snake poison, you don't go there to swallow. It's just like saying, I will take a little poison. I'll just taste a little poison. You will know that the fact that it is little does not mean it's not harmful. You understand? So when men actually understand that this is going to be harmful, it's not just going to be harmful for them. Apart from that, it's going to cause a breakdown of the things they've actually built for many years. How do you explain it that you have married a woman for how many years? Sometimes 5 years, sometimes 10 years. Your marriage has got 20 years and you still want to play around. You have given birth to children. Your children have gone from preschool to elementary school to secondary school, and one day you just want to put all of those things, you want to put it into trash. Come to think about it, that's why I said this thing is about the mind. And that's why we need this kind of program to sensitize, to inform people, because people are not informed. And when you are not informed, you'll be deformed. You understand? When you
What
are
about
not informed, you will be misled. Do you
when
understand?
you are
That's why
not?
I encourage that we do, yeah,
And we echoing. Just
we do this kind of, yeah, we do this program more and more to enlighten the minds of people. I think the problem is about the mind. There's a veil actually covering people, and we have been used to the norm, to the fact that they are doing it. If my friend can do it, it means I can do it. It's just like you don't know that you are special. You have a special fingerprint, eye print, voice print. You understand? So the fact that people are doing it does not mean you
and
should do it. You understand? So when you understand the arm, you understand the harm in it. The harm is enough. Is enough. People don't go near snake because they know it's harmful. When you see it as look, it's just going to be some minutes of fun. It can be a year of fun. It can be 2 years of fun. It can be 1 month of fun, but it's going to destroy a lot. Do you want to invest and actually just wake up one day and see that all of the thing has actually go down the drain? You understand the effect it has on your
Exactly.
psychology. A lot of people cannot even add, they can't undo it. The effect of, by the time they see the result of their input, they cannot undo it. It can crumble a man. You understand? I've heard of some people recently. We had that one of the singers, one of the popular gospel singers, just slumped. You understand? And my wife and I were discussing, and it says that sometimes you can have a lot on you as a man, and it will raise your blood pressure. And when the blood
Pressure.
pressure is rising, you can just collapse and die, and that's it. And that's all. You don't. It's not a movie. You are not playing game that you have 10 lives. That if you die now, you can actually just resurrect and continue. When you die, you die.
And
So why do you want to lose your life? Come back to your senses
come
and do things right. That's what I
do
think.
come back to your senses and do things right. I love that. Now it's actually time now, and we need to go there. We need to go. But I just need, a woman out there, and she's saying, I can't live anymore. I really love this man. I really love this man. How do you advise such a girl to not take her life? How do you advise such a woman to not take her life? That will be the last question for today.
So for me, I think the lady, Nigerians don't like when you tell Nigerians or Africans counseling. They think you are trying to reduce their intelligence or something. I always tell
Yes.
people go for counseling. It is tougher than you are. So you want to talk to somebody, you may be talking to someone and then you feel the person has said the wrong thing to you, or what was said, you pick offense from this statement. Better way to solve a lot of these things is go to the counselor. They are married counselors, unbiased. If you don't want to go to the church, there are some NGOs that do counseling. And then you can as well tell them, I have been to counseling. I'm married for 8 years, going to the ninth year, but I've been to counseling the first 5 years of my marriage, nearly every year, just to make sure that I was well structured and we were structuring the marriage the right way. Even when we're hurting, you hurt me, I hurt you back, that kind of a thing. But I knew I wanted something different. I knew I wanted something to be, I needed the marriage to work. And my husband wanted that. We went for counseling. Counseling is not going to reduce your wisdom. It's not going to reduce your beauty. It's not going to reduce the fact that you are married. No. It's only going to help you to guide you through marriage. And when you see a counselor, some counselors will come with wrong advice. I will switch counselors. Switch the counselors until you know that it's working for you and your husband. We go to counseling, we come back. We compare what was told to us. Then I ask him, are you okay with what was said? If he's not okay with it, that means it's not. That means we not get what we want. Let's go to another counselor and look for the right help. I must tell you, this is 8 going to 9. A lot of things are working differently and positively for us. So for the ladies
Get
that
the
and the
can-
men that are having problem, go
I
to
can.
counseling.
Okay, beautiful. And of course, let me say, young lady, don't kill yourself. Okay? Don't die because of betrayal. I mean, like we heard from one of our guests today. You can get betrayed. I mean, people, you can suffer heartbreak from business, from all other things. And yes, I know emotionally it can be deeper, and then it can also be very painful, especially with someone you have really and totally invested yourself to. Now, hear me. I've heard someone said, I didn't have any other life other than this. I didn't have a plan B. I didn't even have a plan C. This was my only plan. And after many years of building, this is what is happening. It does happen. Life happens. And no matter how it is, encourage yourself. Don't go and kill yourself because of a man's betrayal. Okay, that's why he's the man. Even the word of God says that, Jesus did not commit himself to men because he knows men. Okay, and it should be the same thing as well. Don't do it. We're not saying that you shouldn't have a kind of trust level and be suspicious of every relationship. That's not what we're saying. But what we're talking about here is that whatever it is, please don't kill yourself. We don't want to hear anything anymore about girls killing themselves because of boyfriends or because or a woman for that matter killing herself because of her husband's betrayal. We do not want to hear that anymore. I want to use this opportunity in appreciating our guests today. You have been incredible. Mr. David, thank you so very much. We're going to have you back again
You're
because
welcome. My
this issue,
pleasure.
in fact, is going to be a series. We're going to dwell more. There are some things, a question just came in that I will want us to really look into. Is it okay to live a life of being a side chick? Is it an okay thing for you to live a life of being a side chick? I think we're going to be looking into that, and perhaps a question that was sent to me by Marilyn, we might be able to do that because we're totally out of time. And of course, Mrs. Tega, thank you so very much indeed. It has been a pleasure. Mrs. Ejiro Gene. I don't know where I keep calling you Tega. Thank you so very much indeed for being here today. It's been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And to all our viewers out there, this is actually appreciating you as well. We might not have had enough time to be able to entertain all your questions. There are so many, but you can be rest assured that we're going to be back with another episode. And of course, still dealing on this because we want to shed a lot of light into this. The only reason why we can have the word side chicks, okay, or side chick, is because there are women who are betraying women, and it's about time that we put an end to this. Okay, it is women that will do everything possible to kick another woman out of a matrimonial home that she has built over the years just to come and enjoy the fruit of that woman's labor, and to her she thinks that will be it. No, you are going to have your own coming very soon. It's a wrong thing to do. And for you out there, woman, please break out of that spell. You need not kill yourself because a man betrayed you. You need not do that. All right? Dust yourself up. Go and do something new. Get into go if you have to go back to school to get yourself back. Do that. Whatever you have to do. Just because even if you have nothing, because some women actually really invest all on their men only for the man to turn around and then throw them out. Whichever it is, even at 60, life still can make, you can still make something good out of your life. At 17 as well. It doesn't matter the age. What matters is your determination to live and to make something good out of your life. So the first thing to do, yes, we're not saying you cannot feel the pain. Okay, you're a human being, you will, all right, but then please don't let that pain begins to lead you. Let it not lead you anymore. Let pain stop lying to you to make you think that, oh, your life is over now, you cannot have anything good anymore, oh, your people will laugh at you, oh, this will happen. There is nothing that is happening that has never happened before. If it happened to you now, it has happened to many people, and it's still going to happen to somebody tomorrow. But you need to get yourself up, dust yourself up, heal, tell yourself that it has nothing to do with you. Even if you give the man everything, if he still wants to cheat, he will cheat. Okay? So don't let that hurt you. Don't let her harm you. Don't let her garage you to a corner where you every day, in and out, or you cry and cry and cry. Oh, eat some food. You say, no, I don't want to eat. Oh, this and that. To the point where you not want to commit suicide? No, it is unacceptable. Don't do that to yourself. You don't need it. And then, of course, to our men, I want to say this to you. A 2-minute chance with a woman should not ruin your home. If you are doing something wrong, one of the things that shows that you are matured enough is to be able to say, I have followed a wrong path. I can make a U-turn. Make a U-turn and begin to do the right thing. Because don't forget, you also have daughters as well. you would never pray for your daughter to go through the same thing. I mean, I don't know how some of these men will live to find out that a woman died because of them. Maybe some might have some, well, sadists will be happy about that. Okay, sadists will, a woman is suffering because of their actions. But a right thinking man, just like what we heard from Mr. David, who said, no, I can't live with this conscience. I do not want to live with this conscience. I want to leave, a mark in this world wherein I'll see others happy. And then, of course, their happiness become my responsibility in a way that would never make me hurt them. That is extremely important. And of course, a woman you love, you will never cheat on. Let's be honest and be realistic about that. And if you've been toying this path, it's time for you to have a U-turn. And young lady, don't think you can only make your money through, you engaging with married men and what have you. That is not a life. Drop it. It's about time. We're going to be dealing more on these side chicks. And hey, viewers, thank you. Thank you for making a day so glorious. I am very happy. Of course, this is still Mama Helen and you all the way from the United Kingdom. And I am happy that you have spent this time with us today. Never stop watching Mama Helen and you. Don't forget, if you are not yet subscribed to my Facebook channel, my YouTube, and my Instagram, you need to do so. On my YouTube, it is Mama Helen Orisha Jaffa, and then of course on Instagram it is Helen_Orisha Jaffa, and on Facebook it is Mama Doctor Helen Orisha Jaffa. So please make sure to sign in. We want to hear from you. God bless you. Thank you for being on Mama Helen and you, and thank you for being you. Don't forget, there is no stopping you. It's only you that can stop you. And please, don't stop you. Cooperate with God and be more future oriented. At the end of the day, your life will be beautiful. Thank you again. God bless your heart. Mwah, mwah, mwah. For now.
Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive. Oh yeah, Mama Helen TV show. Mama Helen is here, touching lives, impacting world. It's your time to receive.
Two amazing books from Dr. Helen Orisha Jaffa are available for purchase. Joyfully Together and You Too Can Become a Success. Get them on our website at www.mamahelen.com.ng or on Amazon, or you can place a simple call to +234 815 343 1944. Don't miss the opportunity. Get them today.